Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I'm Valsa Williams and with me is Anita Anand with the Midday News. The headlines. Prime Minister Naren Modi to inaugurate Kartavya Path at India Gate in New Delhi this evening, to also unveil statue of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. Prime Minister says government is equally focusing on creating awareness about preventive care for various illnesses along with building health infrastructure. Union Cooperation Minister Amit Shah says government will establish 3 lakh primary agricultural credit societies in next 5 years. Second India-Japan 2+2 ministerial dialogue begins in Tokyo. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh says India and Japan pursuing special strategic and global partnership as 2 thriving democracies in Asia. Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal says Indian diaspora have a very important role to play in India's journey towards becoming a developed nation by 2047. DRDO and Indian Army successfully complete 6 flight tests of Quick Reaction Surface-to-Air Missile System. NIA conducts raids at various places in Bihar in connection with terror funding and links with the Popular Front of India outfit. Onam, one of the most auspicious days of Onam Festival being celebrated today. And in the US Open, Spain's Carlos Alcaraz enters men's singles semi-final, defeating Yannick Sinner of Italy. Iga Swiatek enters women's singles semi-final. Prime Minister Naren Modi will inaugurate the Kartavya Path, a stretch of the central vista from Rashtrapati Bhavan to India Gate, this evening. It symbolizes a shift from erstwhile Rajpath being an icon of power to being an example of public ownership and empowerment. The entire stretch has been revamped under the Central Vista Redevelopment Project. On the occasion, the Prime Minister will also unveil the statue of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose at India Gate. The statue is being installed in the same place where a hologram statue of Netaji was unveiled in January this year by Mr. Modi on Parakram Divas, marking the 125th birth anniversary of Netaji. A report.
Kartavya Path will exhibit improved public spaces and facilities including lawns with walkways, green spaces, improved signage, new amenity blocks and vending kiosks. Besides, new pedestrian underpasses, improved parking spaces, new exhibition panels and upgraded night lighting are some of the other features of the Kartavya Path which will enhance the public experience. During the function, the 28-feet tall statue of Netaji, which is being unveiled by Prime Minister, is one of the tallest, realistic and handmade sculptures in India. The unveiling of the statue of Netaji will be accompanied to the tune of traditional Aine song Kadam Kadam Badhaya Ja. To demonstrate the spirit of Ek Bharat Shrestha Bharat and unity in diversity, a cultural festival by 500 dancers drawn from all parts of the country will be showcased on the Kartavya Path. The festival at Kartavya Path will commence after the main function. It will continue till 11th September from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. A special 10-minute drone show on Netaji's life will also be projected at India Gate. The entry to both the cultural festival and the drone show will be free for the public. Anand Kumar, AIR News, Delhi.
Delhi Traffic Police has made elaborate arrangements for the safety of pedestrians, including children, and to ensure smooth movement of traffic in the New Delhi district in view of the inauguration of Kartavya Path. General traffic will be diverted from specific roads from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. today. Traffic movement will be diverted from roads including Tilak Marg, Purana Kila Road, Sher Shah Road, Bandara Road and Ashoka Road. In view of a large number of expected footfall in the function, people are advised to avoid using their private vehicles and cabs to travel to the Central Vista, and instead they should use public transport or avail park and ride facility.
All India Radio Delhi will broadcast live the inauguration program of the Central Vista Avenue at 7 p.m. this evening on its FM Gold and Indraprastha channels. The live broadcast will also be available on AIR Live News 24/7 channel and on Akashvani AIR YouTube channel. Prime Minister Naren Modi today interacted with the beneficiaries of various schemes at Olpad in Surat through video conferencing. While interacting with the beneficiaries, the Prime Minister said One Nation, One Ration card has benefited migrant workers the most as it facilitates ration distribution to the beneficiary in any part of the country. He said better health paves the way for a better future. Mr. Modi added that the Union government has laid special emphasis to create a robust health infrastructure in the country. The Prime Minister said that apart from building health infrastructure, the government is equally focusing on spreading awareness about preventive care for various illnesses.
आरोग्य को प्राथमिकता देने के इस प्रयास में हमने जन भागीदारी को सर्वोच्च मार्ग माना है. इसमें हमारे सूरत के रत्न कलाकारों ने, दूसरे व्यापारिक और सामाजिक संगठनों ने हमेशा ही बढ़ चढ़ करके हिस्सा लिया है. और मुझे खुशी है, चाहे सौराष्ट्र से आए हुए लोग हो, चाहे उत्तर गुजरात से आए हुए लोग हो, चाहे हरियाणा से आए हो, राजस्थान से आए हो, आंध्र से आए हो, उड़ीसा से आए हो, हर एक ने कुछ न कुछ सूरत की भलाई के लिए किया ही किया है. आरोग्य के लिए बड़े बड़े कैंप्स लगाने की एक समृद्ध परिपाटी बीते दशकों में सूरत में विकसित हुई है.
Addressing a mega medical camp organized at Olpad in Surat through video conferencing today, Prime Minister said better health is a gateway for better future.
मेगा मेडिकल कैंप, ये अपने आप में कल्पना ही बहुत बड़ी है. एक साथ हजारों लोगों की जांच और मुफ्त इलाज की योजना, मैं मानता हूं कि लोगों को जोड़ना, ये सेवा भाव, सेवा का इतना बड़ा पवित्र काम, मैं जितनी बधाई आप सबको दूं उतनी कम है. गरीब से गरीब के आरोग्य की इतनी चिंता करना, सरकार की योजनाओं से कोई छूट न जाए, इसके लिए विशेष कैंप लगाकर प्रयास करना, इसके लिए मैं मुकेश भाई को और उनकी पूरी टीम को बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं.
The Prime Minister said the government is giving utmost priority to health and encouraging people's participation in the health sector. Teams of government as well as private doctors are providing diagnosis and treatment service to all 1 lakh poor and needy people of the district at the camp. Chief Minister Bhupendra Patel, State BJP President C.R. Patil were present on the occasion.
The second India-Japan 2+2 ministerial dialogue began in Tokyo today. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh along with External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar are holding talks with Japanese Minister of Defence Yasukazu Hamada and Japanese Minister of Foreign Affairs Yoshimasa Hayashi. In his remarks, Mr. Singh said there has been significant progress in Indo-Japan bilateral relations in recent times. He said both countries have had a long history of cultural and civilizational ties. Mr. Singh said as two thriving democracies in Asia, both are pursuing a special strategic and global partnership.
Let me extend heartfelt condolences on the sad demise of His Excellency Shinzo Abe. Mr. Abe's contributions were significant in elevating the India-Japan relationship. India stands in solidarity with the people of Japan as they recover from this loss. Excellencies, there has been significant progress in our bilateral relations in recent times. Both countries have had a long history of cultural and civilizational ties. As two thriving democracies in Asia, we are pursuing a special strategic and global partnership.
External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar said today's meeting demonstrates the commitment of both countries towards deepening bilateral security and defence cooperation. He said it also demonstrates the strength of India-Japan Special Strategic and Global Partnership. Dr. Jaishankar said the recent meeting of our leaders reaffirms the continuity and strength of our relationship. He said India-Japan partnership is of immense importance and it is rooted in our shared values of democracy, freedom and respect for rule of law. The External Affairs Minister said the strategic aspects of the relationship have gained new meaning in recent years, reflected in our recent bilateral and plurilateral engagements. During the 2+2 dialogue, both sides will review bilateral cooperation across domains and chart out the way forward. India and Japan are pursuing a special strategic and global partnership. This year marks 70 years of diplomatic relations between the two countries. Earlier today, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh held bilateral talks with his Japanese counterpart Yasukazu Hamada in Tokyo. During the meeting, the two ministers reviewed various aspects of bilateral defence cooperation and regional security situation. They acknowledged the importance of India-Japan defence partnership and the crucial role it will play in ensuring a free, open and rules-based Indo-Pacific region. During the delegation-level talks, Mr. Singh highlighted that the growing complexities in the India-Japan bilateral defence exercises is a testimony to the deepening of defence cooperation between the two countries. Both sides expressed their commitment in continuing bilateral and multilateral exercises, including Dharma Guardian, DRIMEX and Malabar. They also welcomed the operationalization of the reciprocal provision of supply and services agreement during exercise Milan in March this year. They agreed that the early conduct of the inaugural fighter exercise will pave the way for much greater cooperation and interoperability between the air forces of the two countries. The Defence Minister stressed the need to expand the scope of partnership in the field of defence equipment and technological cooperation and invited Japanese industries to invest in India's defence corridors. Mr. Singh reached Tokyo yesterday on a 4-day visit to Japan.
Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal has called upon the Indian diaspora to convey to the world about the tremendous business opportunities that India, a country of 1.3 billion aspirational market, offers. Mr. Goyal said the Indian diaspora have a very important role to play in India's journey towards becoming a developed nation by its 100 years of independence in 2047. He was speaking at the luncheon engagement with Indian diaspora in San Francisco. He said India has a vibrant startup ecosystem today and emphasized on the need for more opportunities for Indian startup ideas to reach out to the global market, for which there is no better place than the Silicon Valley.
We do get a lot of ideas from engagements such as this, which I'm hoping to also get in the course of our discussion. One takeaway that I take from here is that if we have to encourage more people to startups and new ideas to locate in India, we'll have to do some consideration on a few policy matters. I've certainly taken back good ideas about the 4 or 5 critical elements of the startup ecosystem or the expectations from people in the US or overall the investing community, which can help further speed up deployment of capital and encouraging new innovation in India.
Mr. Goyal said if India does not engage with the world, then surely will miss the bus, as no country in the world has become developed without a significantly expanding engagement. He also acknowledged the unique positioning of the Indian diaspora, serving as the connect between India and abroad. The Commerce and Industry Minister will attend the first in-person Indo-Pacific Economic Forum ministerial meeting in Los Angeles tomorrow as a part of the second leg of his United States tour. He will also attend US-India Strategic Partnership Forum meeting and other events in Los Angeles. Ahead of the meeting, interacting with the media, the minister said discussions at the Indo-Pacific Economic Forum would focus on opening opportunities for the member nations to work in partnership with each other. You're listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Naren Modi to inaugurate Kartavya Path at India Gate in New Delhi this evening, to also unveil statue of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. Prime Minister says government is equally focusing on creating awareness about preventive care for various illnesses along with building health infrastructure. Union Corporation Minister Amit Shah says government will establish 3 lakh primary agricultural credit societies in next 5 years. Second India-Japan 2+2 ministerial dialogue begins in Tokyo. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh says India and Japan pursuing special strategic and global partnership as 2 thriving democracies in Asia. Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal says Indian diaspora have a very important role to play in India's journey towards becoming a developed nation by 2047. DRDO and Indian Army successfully complete 6 flight tests of Quick Reaction Surface-to-Air Missile System. NIA conducts raids at various places in Bihar in connection with terror funding and links with the popular Front of India outfit. Onam, one of the most auspicious days of Onam Festival, being celebrated today. And in the US Open, Spain's Carlos Alcaraz enters men's singles semi-final, defeating Yannick Sinner of Italy, and Iga Swiatek enters women's singles semi-final For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
मुट्ठी भर अंग्रेज और हमारे विशाल देश पर राज करने का स्वप्न देखते हैं, पर हम इनके स्वप्न को चकनाचूर कर देंगे।
निकल पड़े स्वाधीनता के पथ भाले, स्वतंत्रता संग्राम की सुनी अनसुनी कहानियों के साथ स्वराज हर रविवार रात 9 बजे डीडी नेशनल पर।
Welcome back to the Midday News. Union Home and Cooperation Minister Amit Shah has said a committee has been constituted to draft National Cooperative Policy for Holistic Development, inaugurating a 2-day National Conference of State Cooperation Ministers in New Delhi. Mr. Shah said every state will have representation in it, and former Union Minister Suresh Prabhu will head the committee. He said the policy's focus area will be free registration, computerization and democratic elections. Mr. Shah said focus will also be on ensuring active membership, professionalism in leadership and transparency, being responsible and answerable, and all discussions to be held with the stakeholders. The Cooperation Minister said the government has decided to establish 3 lakh primary agricultural credit societies in the next 5 years in the country. Mr. Shah said defunct PACS should be liquidized as soon as possible so that new PACs can be built.
मुझे पूरा भरोसा है कि हम सहकारी क्षेत्र की मूल इकाई को मजबूत कर सहकारी क्षेत्र को एक नया, लंबा और मजबूत आयुष्य देने में सफल होंगे। अभी लगभग 65,000 पैक्स हैं क्रियान्वयन में, वैसे तो 95,000 हैं। पैक्स आज अपना काम ठीक ढंग से कर रहे हैं। हमने तय किया है कि 3 लाख पैक्स 5 साल में हम कुल मिलाकर बनाएंगे, तो करीब 2,25,000 पैक्स के रजिस्ट्रेशन का हमने लक्ष्य रखा है। वो पैक्स डेयरी भी होंगे, वो पैक्स एफपीओ भी होंगे, वो पैक्स जल वितरण भी करेंगे, वो पैक्स गैस का वितरण भी करेंगे, वो पैक्स गोबर गैस भी बनाएंगे, वो पैक्स भंडारण का भी काम करेंगे।
Defence Research and Development Organization DRDO and Indian Army have successfully completed 6 flight tests of Quick Reaction Surface-to-Air Missile QRSAM system. The flight tests were conducted from the Integrated Test Range Chandipur off the Odisha coast as part of evaluation trials by the Indian Army. Chairman DRDO Sameer V. Kamath said the system is now ready for induction into the Indian Army. The tests were carried out against high-speed aerial targets, mimicking various types of threats to evaluate the capability of the weapon systems under different scenarios. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has complimented DRDO and Indian Army on the successful flight trials. He exuded confidence that the QRSAM weapon system will be an excellent force multiplier for the armed forces.
Government has announced that it will set up 300 cargo terminals under the PM Gati Shakti framework over the next 4 to 5 years to reduce the logistics cost by a huge margin and attract more cargo to railways. The decision is expected to add a great impetus to the economy. Briefing media about the cabinet decision on the policy on long-term leasing of railways land for implementing the PM Gati Shakti framework in New Delhi today, Railways Minister Ashwini Vaishnav said that this project will not only reduce logistics costs by 2 to 3% but generate over 1 lakh job opportunities in next 4 to 5 years. He said logistics costs by road transport accounts for 17 to 18% of the total GDP. Therefore, this project was envisaged with deep consultation with all stakeholders. BJP today said that Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal should tender a public apology for not taking any action over the recently unfolded sting operation over liquor policy. Briefing media in New Delhi, party spokesperson Sudhanshu Trivedi said those who used to ask people for sting operations are now refusing from their own stand. He said if a party with 90% members in the assembly go for a confidence motion without even being asked, this reflects that Kejriwal government has lost the confidence of the people of Delhi.
Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina paid obeisance at the Dargah of Sufi Saint Khwaja Moinuddin Chishti at Ajmer this afternoon. Ms. Hasina reached the Dargah amid tight security arrangements where she was given a red carpet welcome. She performed ziyarat at the Dargah. Earlier, Ms. Hasina, along with her delegation, reached Jaipur International Airport by special aircraft. She was received by State Education Minister B.D. Kalla and top officials. Onam, one of the most auspicious days during the Onam Festival, is being celebrated today. Onam commemorates the return of mythical righteous King Mahabali and brings together communities across the landscape in unified revelry. The President, Vice President and Prime Minister have greeted countrymen on the occasion of Onam.
All India Radio is celebrating 75 years of freedom with the series Azad Bharat Ki Baat, Akashwani ke saath. It showcases the journey of India since independence in various walks of life through the storytelling of All India Radio. In today's episode, we will bring you the story of two legends of Indian music, Pandit Ravi Shankar and Pandit Bhimsen Joshi.
In today's episode, we will bring you the story of two legends of Indian music, Pandit Ravi Shankar and Pandit Bhimsen Joshi. Pandit Ravi Shankar learned sitar under the noted musician Ustad Alauddin Khan and started his career as a music director at All India Radio, New Delhi, where he worked from 1948 to 1956. In 1956, he began to tour Europe and the Americas, playing Indian classical music. His association with violinist Yehudi Menuhin, Beatles guitarist George Harrison, and Bob Dylan helped popularize the use of Indian instruments in Western pop music in the latter half of the 1960s. He recomposed the music for the popular song Sare Jahan Se Acha at the age of 25. Winner of 5 Grammy Awards, Pandit Ravi Shankar also composed music for Satyajit Ray's Apu's trilogy. From 1986 to 1992, he served as a nominated member of Rajya Sabha. He continued to perform until the end of his life. A brilliant exponent in the field of Hindustani classical music, Pandit Bhimsen Joshi is a legend who had not just earned the respect and admiration of his fans, but that of his critics as well. Famous for perfecting the khayal, a form of Hindustani classical, Bhimsen Joshi was also known for his presentation of devotional music. His bhajans, which were usually sung in Kannada, Hindi and Marathi languages, are widely recognized and appreciated not just by ardent music lovers, but also by devotees all over the country. In 1943, he started working at All India Radio in Mumbai. When All India Radio opened a station in Dharwad in 1950, the inaugural song Vande Mataram was sung by Pandit Bhimsen Joshi, Gangubai Hangal, Mallikarjun Mansoor and Basavaraj Rajguru. His most memorable performance that is recalled by his fans even today is the song Mile Su.
Azad Bharat Ki Baat Akashwani ke saath can be accessed on @AIR News Alerts on Twitter, News on AIR official YouTube channel, News on AIR app, Facebook and Instagram handles. So tune into All India Radio News for Azad Bharat Ki Baat Akashwani ke saath. Music lovers are remembering the musician and poet Dr. Bhupen Hazarika on his 96th birth anniversary today. Widely known as Sudha Konto, the Bharat Ratna awardee Hazarika has written and sung songs mainly in the Assamese, which are marked by humanity and universal brotherhood. His songs have been widely translated and sung in many languages, especially in Bengali and Hindi. Born in 1926 at Sadia in Tinsukia district of Assam, Hazarika grew up surrounded by songs and folk tales about life along the Brahmaputra river. A prodigious genius, Dr. Hazarika wrote and sung his first song at the age of 10. He has produced, directed, composed music and sung for the Assamese language films. He has won the President's National Award for the Best Filmmaker thrice. A famous song, Ganga Behti Ho Kyun, sung by Bhupen Hazarika, has received worldwide acclaim.
विस्तार है अपार प्रजा दोनों पार करे हाहाकार निशब्द सदा हो गंगा तुम गंगा बहती हो क्यों विस्तार है अपार.
Dr. Hazarika passed away on 5th of November 2011. He was posthumously awarded the Bharat Ratna in 2019.
On to sports. In the US Open tennis, top seed Iga Swiatek overpowered American player Jessica Pegula 6-3, 7-6 this morning to complete the semi-final lineup in women's singles. Polish Swiatek will take on 6th seed Aryna Sabalenka of Belarus in the last four tomorrow. In the other semi-finals, 5th seed Tunisian On Shaber will meet 17th seed Caroline Garcia of France. In men's singles, Spain's Carlos Alcaraz defeated Yannick Sinner of Italy in a 5-set thriller 6-3, 6-7, 6-7, 7-5, 6-3 to enter the US Open semi-finals early morning today. He will clash with the local Francis Tiafoe for the place in the final on Friday. In the other semi-final, 5th-seeded Casper Ruud will clash with 27th-seeded Karen Khachanov of Russia. Norwegian Ruud defeated Italy's Matteo Berrettini in the quarterfinals. Russian Khachanov reached his first Grand Slam semi-final with a win over Australian firebrand Nick Kyrgios. In Asia Cup T20 cricket, India will take on Afghanistan in their Super 4 match in Dubai today. The match will start at 7:30 p.m. Indian time. Both the teams have already been ousted from the tournament after losing 2 matches each in the Super 4 stage. Pakistan and Sri Lanka will play the final on Sunday. Last night, Pakistan defeated Afghanistan by 1 wicket in a nail-biting finish in their final Super 4 match at Sharjah. Olympic gold medalist javelin thrower Neeraj Chopra is all set to take part in the finals of the Zurich Diamond League javelin throw event tonight. The 24-year-old star became the first Indian to qualify for the final of the event. Neeraj Chopra will compete in the grand event alongside 5 other world-class javelin throwers. That includes Jakub Vadlich.
Defending champions India started their campaign in SAF Women's Championship with a 3-0 victory over Pakistan in Kathmandu in Nepal yesterday. With this, Indian women's team extended their unbeaten run to 27 matches in the championship. India is leading in Group A with 3 points. Bangladesh and Maldives are the remaining 2 teams in the group. Host Nepal, Sri Lanka and Bhutan are slotted in Group B. Top 2 teams from each group will qualify for the semi-finals. India will next play against Maldives on Saturday. The key domestic stock indices today climbed more than 0.5% in the afternoon trade. The Sensex and the Nifty both gained amid positive global cues. The Sensex was trading above 59,400 points, while the Nifty was trading above 17,700 level. The Sensex rose 419 points or 0.71% to trade at 59,448. The Nifty was also up 104 points or 0.59% to trade at 17,729 when the reports last came in.
Now let us have a look at the weather forecast for today. National capital Delhi is expected to have partly cloudy sky. Minimum temperature was recorded at 29 degrees Celsius. Maximum will hover around 38 degrees. Mumbai expected to have generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. Minimum temperature was 25 degrees, while maximum will be around 31. Chennai will have generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. Minimum temperature was 26. Maximum will hover around 34. Kolkata will have partly cloudy sky with possibility of moderate rain or thunderstorm. Minimum temperature recorded was 28 degrees. Maximum will remain around 35. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to inaugurate Kartavya Path at India Gate in New Delhi this evening, to also unveil statue of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. Prime Minister says government is equally focusing on creating awareness about preventive care for various illnesses along with building health infrastructure. Union Cooperation Minister Amit Shah says government will establish 3 lakh primary agricultural credit societies in next 5 years. Second, India-Japan 2+2 ministerial dialogue begins in Tokyo. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh says India and Japan pursuing special strategic and global partnership as 2 thriving democracies in Asia. Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal says Indian diaspora has a very important role to play in India's journey towards becoming a developed nation by 2047. DRDO and Indian Army successfully complete 6 flight tests of quick reaction surface-to-air missile system. Onam, one of the most auspicious days of Onam Festival, being celebrated today. And in US Open, Spain's Carlos Alcaraz enters men's singles semi-final, defeating Yannick Sinner of Italy. Iga Swiatek enters women's singles semi-final. And with that, we end the midday news.